Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome friends. In this lecture, myself Dr. Ajay Semalty welcome you. We will be discussing today about the tablet manufacturing, the remaining sections of the tablet manufacturing. We have discussed the mixing, granulation, palletization. Now this is the time for discussing the core manufacturing process after the mixing and granulation. So let us discuss the tablet manufacturing after the mixing and granulation. Friends, after going through this lecture, you will be able to know about the basics of tablet punching process, the concept of compression, and the tablet defects and their remedies. We'll be covering this lecture firstly with the basic preparation methods of tablet punching, equipment, process, concept of compression. Then processing problems we'll be discussing like tablet defects and their remedies we will be giving in our lecture. Now tablet manufacturing. We have discussed MGC. What does MGC means? Do remember mixing, that is mixing of drugs and excipient. Granulation. This two these two aspects we have already discussed. Now what is left? Compression, that is tablet punching. So we'll be discussing in this lecture exclusively this compression, tablet punching, and we'll try to understand all the technicalities of the tablet punching. So tablet punching machine looks like your wheat flour mill, little bit with you can say the punching process is not there. Hopper especially, it is just like your wheat flour mill. So let us discuss what are the components. First is hopper. As we have already mentioned that it is similar to your wheat flour mills, that cone in which you char that material for getting your flour. For temporary storing the material for compression, hopper is used. Can you see here? This is the hopper, this part. This is the hopper. Okay. Feed frame. This is the feed frame as you can see in this figure. It is used for distributing the materials into the dies. It takes this material which is charged into the hopper. It takes this material to the dies. Okay, dies are here. So what are dies? Dies are used for controlling the size and shape of the tablet. These are the size. We will be discussing in detail, don't worry. And then punches, upper punch and lower punch. Punches are used for compressing the material within the dies. The dies are like this and punches, these are the force providing tools actually, and they compress the material into the dies. So hopper, that the conical shape part, then feed frame, dies, and then punches. These are the four major components of a tablet punching machine. Now let us discuss what is hopper. Hopper, as we already mentioned, is just like the upper part of the flour mill. wheat flour mill. The upper funnel like part is hopper, and it is same in tablet punching machine. Okay, it's just similar. Uh, it governs the flow properties. You can say, rather I would say that if the flow properties are good, these flow property govern the movement of blend through the hopper. That's why we say that the granules must have good flow properties, because we are charging the granules in the hopper. If the flow property will be poor, the uniformity of content will not be there in the material which is going to be compressed. So drug content uniformity may get affected, and the rate of supplying this material into the feed frame is also important. So we'll be discussing these factors also. Die filling. These are dies, as you can see, these are the dies. Die is filled with blend. This is actually the deep space there, little. Die is filled with blend through the hopper, and fill weight is adjusted to govern the final weight of tablet. This fill weight, whatever it is, little bowl, you can say little bowl like things, in tune with the shape and size of the tablet. So fill weight can be adjusted, and it must be in good tune with the final weight of the tablet. Okay, so dies are very important aspects of component of tablet punching machine. Then compaction, we will be discussing the compaction. Compaction is done with the help of upper punch and lower punch. Okay, what happens, as you can see here, what is happening, that material is filled into this die. This is the die, the lower punch. Okay, upper punch move with the pressure onto the dies filled with blend. This is filled with blend, and upper punch is moving. Look, stage 2, upper punch is moving towards this die, and this feed frame is moving backward. Okay, then compression force govern the hardness and friability of tablet. This compression force is given. This upper punch gives the pressure onto the die fill, and the in between the upper punch and lower punch, the tablet is compressed. Okay, so this is the third stage. Now move to the next stage, ejection part. Now how ejection is being done? After compression, the lower punch rises up until its tip reaches the die stop. Can you see here? This lower punch is moving upward. Okay, and when it rises up until its tip reaches the die top, the tablet is then removed by pushing by a pushing device. Okay, this feed frame, or you can say that pushing device ejects this tablet. So meanwhile, when the lower punch is moving up, upper punch is also moving backward. Okay, you can see here, and then the tablet is ejected like this. Okay, it cuts from the die fill and it is ejected. So compaction and then ejection. These are the two major components, or you can say two major process or steps of tablet punching. Now, tablet punching machines may be single punch. They may be having the one pair of punch and a die, one pair of punch, upper punch, lower punch, and a single die. Okay, this is single punch machine. Usually you find it in your laboratories, your institutions, your research labs. Single punch machine. They may be manual, mechanical, or maybe electric driven. Then comes rotary punching machines. They may be having multi-stations, 16 stations, 49 stations, and so on. So depending upon the scale up of the tablet production, the rotary punching machines may have so many stations. These are very much automated systems which produce the tablets. You just need to charge the hopper, and rest of the things are automated. Okay. Now let's see the working of a multi-station rotary tablet punching machine with this, you can say GIF. Don't worry, this GIF is available in the Wikipedia. It's freely available. Now let's discuss the thing. These are the multi-stations basically. What is happening? Lower punch is moving upward here. Okay, and this feeder. Okay, and this feeder is filling this die, and then the upper punch is moving down and taking and giving the compression force. Okay, and meanwhile the compression rolls are moving like this, so that the entire assembly is moving, the assembly of punch and die is moving like this, okay, in this direction. So movement of upper punch and lower punch, when the die is filled, the compression force is given by the upper punch, by the main compression roll. When this is the final actual compression force is being given at this stage, and then the upper punch goes back and the lower punch rises up and takes the tablet to the upward to the top, and it is ejected by a pushing device. So this is a simple you can say simple uh, representative functioning of a multi-station rotary tablet punching machine. You can access this, you can use this, it's freely available in Wikipedia, but it is very easy to understand. I acknowledge the creator of this GIF. Thank you. Now moving to compression and consolidation in tablet manufacturing. What is happening there inside the tablet? Let's discuss this. Tablet manufacturing or the tablet compaction consists of two steps. Step 1, compression, that is volume reduction. Step 2 is consolidation, that is called shaping in tablet. Compression and consolidation. Can you see here? These are the two steps, volume reduction and shaping in tablet. Now let us discuss in detail these two aspects. Now, the process of compaction we are dealing with, first is phase 1. What is phase 1? Volume reduction occurs, then the rearrangement of particle occurs due to volume reduction, and then they come closer into the closer packing. Okay. Then in phase 2, what is happening? After a certain point, rearrangement does not occur, and further reduction beyond this point in compact volume leads to elastic, means reversible deformation. In phase 3 of the process of compaction, irreversible, that is plastic deformation of particle occurs. While in the phase 4, the fragmentation leads to interparticle bonds, and that leads to final compaction. These are the four phases. Phase 1, volume reduction leading to rearrangement. Phase 2, after a certain point, the rearrangement does not occur, and then the elastic or reversible deformation occurs. In phase 3, plastic or irreversible deformation occur, and in phase 4, fragmentation leads to interparticle bonds, and that is leading to compaction. This is very much important. From exam point of view, you must learn these four phases, and this is the simplest representation I could make for you. Please do learn. Now, let us see this with the help of this plot, where the pressure in y-axis and time in x-axis is there. Punch and die, it is called punch and die stress versus time curve. Here you can see the bulk powder is there at this stage where the pressure is low. When the pressure is increased, the rearrangement is occurring, and the elastic deformation occurs, then the plastic deformation occurs, and finally the compaction. Okay, these are the four phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. This is the again the simple representation. With the help of this graph, we can represent four phases which we discussed of tablet compaction. Now the process of compaction, let me remind you that particle rearrangement occurred, then the elastic or viscoelastic and plastic deformation of particle occurred, then fragmentation of particle, and then formation of interparticular bonds leading to the final compaction. So process of compaction is of, you can say, consists of four phases. Do remember this thing. Now the types of bonds during tablet formation. Mechanical interlocking between irregularly shaped particles. First is mechanical interlocking. Then interparticulate attraction forces like intermolecular forces such as van der Waals forces, electrostatic forces, and hydrogen bonding. These are the forces. As you can see here in this diagram, these are the forces which in interparticulate attraction forces are there, which are responsible for the tablet formation. Okay, the compaction force. Now we move to the next type of bond, you can say solid bridges due to melting. That you can see these solid bridges are formed. These are the third type of you can say bonding after mechanical interlocking, interparticulate attraction forces, and then there comes solid bridges. So these three forces are responsible for one, two, or maybe all three may be responsible for tablet compaction. Okay. Now let us see the volume reduction mechanism during compression. The Haeckel plot, the Haeckel equation tells us that the degree of compact tensification with increasing compression pressure is directly proportional to the porosity. This Haeckel plot or Haeckel plots are helpful in identifying the predominant deformation behavior of the material between the substances that consolidate by fragmentation and those that consolidate by plastic deformation. So whether they are being consolidated by fragmentation or the plastic deformation, Haeckel plots identify the predominant deformation behavior. So it is very relevant. You must learn about the various Haeckel plots. Okay. Now it's a time to discuss the defects, the problems in the tablets. So these are the simplest representation of the various types of defects like gapping, lamination, picking, cracking, mottling, double impression. So we'll be discussing many of these in the further discussion. So let us pick them one by one and discuss their remedies also. Now first is capping and lamination. As you say, the capping, cap is crown is gone, that is capping. Lamination, it means two layers are separated. So capping, if you define partial or complete separation of top or bottom crown of a tablet from the main body of tablet is called capping, as you can see in this diagram. Lamination is a separation of tablet in two or more distinct layers. So just like laminate, 2-3 laminates, they are separated. Now, what is the cause of capping and lamination issue? There may be air entrapment in granules. It may cause, because the air which is stuck between the two layers may separate these two layers or may separate the cap or bottom. Rapid decompression may also be responsible for causing the capping and lamination. Deep concave punches, when the deep concave punches are going to compress the tablet, the uneven force may lead to the capping and lamination, because in the center the major force is there, while in the sides the less force is there. So the uneven force applied may be responsible for the capping and lamination. Another cause may be too dry or granulation tends to cap or laminate due to lack of cohesion. So the lack of cohesion may be an important cause, a vital cause. You can say it may cause many times. So granules must have an optimum amount of moisture. That's why we tell them that at least 3-4% moisture must be there when we are trying to compress the granules. Incorrect setup of the press, that your compaction press, tablet press, must be set up perfectly. Otherwise, it may lead to the capping and lamination. Now, what are the remedies? We have discussed the causes. We have discussed what does the capping and lamination means. Now, it's the time to start the remedy. First is pre-compression. It means slowing the rate of tableting or reducing the final compression pressure is the topmost remedy. Use of flat punches rather than using the concave punches. If you use the flat punches, it will have the more even force application onto the tablet at the time of compaction, and it will lead to uniform pressure onto the tablet body, and thereby the capping and lamination like issues will not be there. Maintenance of optimum moisture in the processing of granulation is also a very important factor, which we have discussed also, because when you are adding it, the lack of moisture or air entrapment may cause the problem. The use of special durable dyes with tungsten carbide insert may be solving these issues or may avoid these issues, or you can say tablet defect like capping and lamination. Now let's discuss picking and sticking. As you can see, picking means tablet punch has picked up some of the particles of from the tablet body. Okay, and sticking means the tablet phase is affected by sticking. So picking is surface materials from a tablet that is sticking to the punch and being removed from the tablet surface is called picking. Like this is the picking. Okay. While sticking refers to the tablet materials adhering to the die wall. Sometimes the die wall is having the more adhesive force, and it may have remnants of the tablet after the compaction. So picking and sticking, in both the cases, in picking, tablet punch is picking the thing, and in sticking you can say die wall is picking the thing. Okay, picking the core of the, or you can say the fragments of the tablet. Now let us discuss the causes. Adhesion of materials to the punch faces is the important cause. Overwetting of the tablet by underdrying or poor tablet quality. Next is tablet material sticking to the punch tips with engraving or embossing. When the engraving and embossing is there in tablet punching, but it is more likely to have these issues of picking and sticking. Okay. While remedies, when we call about the remedies, use of what we can do, that we can use the large lettering on punches with small diameters. Okay, large material rather than the small font. Using the large lettering can be used with small diameters. Reformulation of tablet to the large size may also solve the purpose, or plating of the punch faces with chromium can also solve the purpose, and picking and sticking will not be there because the chromium is less adhering. Okay, adding of colloidal silica to the granules as polishing agent may solve your issues. Use of more or new binder to increase cohesiveness of tablet may solve the issues of picking and sticking. So search these kind of binders which can replace your usual binders. Addition of more high melting point lubricants leading to reduction of low melting point, or you can say reduction of low melting point reduction. So use less amount of low melting point lubricants and use high amount, generally high melting point lubricants. So high melting point lubricants will have the tendency to avoid this picking and sticking, while the low melting point are always more or less associated with the picking and sticking. So these are the remedies for the picking and sticking. So one by one, if you see them, you can correlate with the defects and the remedies yourself. Now going for the mottling. Okay, you can say it is an unequal distribution of colors on a tablet with light and dark areas on tablet surface, as you can see in this tablet code. Okay, Mottling cause what causes mottling? Use of drug whose color differs from tablet excipient color. Drug API's color is entirely different from the tablet excipient, then it may cause the issue of the mottling. Use of drug whose dehydration product are colored, because the dehydration may lead to the product which may have the different colors. Okay, so migration of dyes to the surface of a granulation during the drying. It occurs many times that the dyes may move to the surface and thereby leading to the mottling. Okay, now what are the remedies? We can change the solvent system, we can reduce the drying temperature, and we can use dispersing a dry color additive during powder binding steps. So these are the remedies of mottling. So what you need to do, that you need to focus on the better solvent system basically, and reducing the drying temperature. This may lead to less chances of mottling. Now weight variation. Variation of tablet weight beyond the acceptable limit. You cannot produce always standard and very precisely, very specifically. No next tablet can be of exactly of same weight. So, but you have to make your efforts to make this weight variation acceptable limits. Okay. What are the causes? Non-uniform granule size and size distribution. If granules are of different size distribution. If flow problem is there, flow property is not good in granules, like we have discussed in case of hopper also. If you charge it, if flow property is not good, the mixing will not be there. That content uniformity, weight variation may be caused by this thing. Punch variation. Yeah, poor design of the granulation hopper may also be the cause, or poor mixing obviously. So poor mixing, uniform size, non-uniform sizing, poor flow, these are the major causes of weight variation. Now let us focus on the remedies. Addition or increase of a glidant like talcum, colloidal silica, it may solve your issue. Use of vibrators attached to the hopper may lead to it may avoid the weight variation. Use of well-designed hopper may also solve your issue. So, glidant, suitable glidant, use of vibrators attached, and the well-designed hopper. These are the few remedies of weight variation. Okay. Now, double impression, as the name suggests, as you can see, the double impression many times when the tablets are having the some lettering there on there as the identification mark or some brand value. The faulty engraving by punches with monogram or engraving is called double impression. Okay, as it is self-explanatory. Now, slight rotation of punch after the pre-compression may lead to this double impression. Just like a seal, when you put this seal, one seal or double seal, you can say, if that in the same size, your seal you couldn't put a seal properly, and you are again doing this thing, then it may slightly shift from the original position. So slight rotation of the punch after the pre-compression lead to the double impression. What we can do, we can use the non-rotating cam track for avoiding the double impression. Now, these are the references. You must go ahead for exploring in detail about the tablet manufacturing. Okay. So, tablet manufacturing involves MGC. So, we are going to summarize what we have done, what we have learned in this lecture. So, first is MGC. Mixing, granulation, and compression. After mixing and granulation, compression or compaction is the major step. Tablet punching tools and the process are very important to learn for you from exam point of view. After mixing and granulation, tablet compaction cycle involves dye filling, fill weight adjustment, and tablet compaction. Okay. Compression and consolidation are two basic stages of compaction. So compression and then consolidation. We studied that 4 phases. Okay, remember those 4 phases. Compaction is mediated by particle rearrangement, then elastic deformation, viscoelastic and plastic deformation of particles, then fragmentation of particles, and the formation of interparticulate bonds. They may be of any type, okay, maybe solid bridges or interlocking, which we study. Please do try to remember these 4 phases and these bonds. Capping, lamination, picking, sticking, mottling, weight variation, and double impressions are the major tablet defects. We must know the exact definition of these tablet defects, the visual representation, the diagram, infographic form, and then their causes and remedies to the point, because otherwise it is a very big topic of production technology of tablet. Making a tablet is an art as well as a science. Yeah, obviously. Tablet punching is the most complex process if you compare with the other formulation like capsules and other things. Tablet have many variables which control the quality of the final product. So let us learn these things in this way, and don't forget the important aspects of compaction cycle, Haeckel plot. Okay, learn these things. We'll get back to you with more lectures. Thank you for being with me. Happy learning.